the equipment is faulty. Say, okay, manage it. A forklift with a faulty brake. Sorry?
No, I said unsafe act and unsafe condition.
Yes.
Equals
Accident, exactly. So, unsafe act conditions. Or you are using a tool that is bad. So all these are all part of unsafe conditions now. So if you now bring unsafe acts and unsafe condition together, that is sure accident can happen. Though one of them can cause accident, but when the two are together, one should expect it.
It's imminent.
Sorry?
It's imminent.
It's imminent once we have any of them. So we should always be conscious of this anytime. Then, we said when we are handling materials, we should be very, very careful. The materials we are handling. We don't play with them. Look at the last one that I think that's where we stopped. Hazardous material. When the material themselves, they have hazard. We are saying we want to avoid hazard. But when the material we want to handle is hazardous, it's full of hazard. You want to move things like acid in the drum from one position from the warehouse to maybe the factory or to the point where it's going to be used. No, the material itself is hazardous. That will now require to be extra careful. So, all this careful, whatever, they are still under safety. So, material handling, actually, apart from the fact that we have some principles, planning and other things, safety also go along with it. Okay? Then I want to also believe that you should have started the practical the previous day. All of them, but there are some other modules that you still do that talk directly with the practical. But I must still mention one of two things. As you said that day, driving forklift it's not difficult. It's not difficult. Is it difficult? It's not difficult.
It's easy for you when you already know how to drive.
Yes. You know why it's not difficult? Wait now. You don't need to be scared. You don't need to be afraid at all.
Slow.
Because
it's slow, it's not fast.
Yeah, that is one thing. And that's why the designer, those who design it, they design it like that. You can't run as you run in your cars. You can't. Even ordinary keke will run past the forklift. Even sometimes legs feel even run. You might be feeling more run past.
But the steering is very, very light.
It's very, very flexible. Yes.
Compared to
it shouldn't be different. It shouldn't be hard now.
Exactly.
So there are many things that in driving the forklift, let me just like guys said, in driving the forklift, you have to be focused. You don't have to be as for those who have not driven cars before. You don't need to be afraid. It's just one way. Say anywhere benefits. Yes. Once you face like this, all you need to do is just like automatic. You don't need to be changing gear 1, gear 2. All you need to do is just put your gear. Once you put in drive, then press your throttle. You'll be going. You want to reverse? You turn it back, put it back, you will move back. And again, because the steering is very, very flexible, it can turn easily. Okay? You should avoid what we call steering counting. You will not be counting how long, because it can turn enough time. Look at it. It's usually a back wheel drive. It's controlled by the back wheel. Yes. So you don't need to to ask, I've done 1, 2, 3. No, you just be focused and you observe as you are moving, or you observe direction of your forklift. If you want to be going straight, if it's diverting like this, you know that your tires are not straight, so you have to return a little. That is one. Then the steering lock. Sometimes when you are driving, you are turning the steering. You can turn and, because your 2 hands are like this, now got to this, and you now feel, say, the thing is not going again. You are the one that have blocked your hand. So avoid using the 2 hands to turn. Once you are turning the other hand should be free, such that the steering can move easily. There are so many. In fact, one of the easiest things to drive is the forklift. Don't be afraid. It's just to get it. It's just to get the technique. Maybe by the time you do it for this first 1 week now, that fear will go. Okay, that fear. And then again, lifting the load, tilting the tongue, moving it sideways, then tilting outward, inward, all those ones too. It's just a control of the levers. See, for tilting, you tilt the lever outward, inward. You can see it's very simple. So there's no cause for alarm. No cause for alarm at all. All we are saying, that safety is very important.
Yeah.
That safety is very, very important. Okay? So, the equipment that are used for material handling. The other time, we mentioned about use of, you can have manual handling, mechanical handling, and other forms. Here, we have transport equipment. Don't forget that material handling is not only the transportation. I mentioned the other way that the storage too in the warehouse is part of it. The carriage, the lifting, transportation, they are all part of it. Okay? So if we look at the transport equipment that are used for material handling, there are various types. Majorly to move material from one point to the other. To move from material from one point, it could be heavy, very heavy material, it could be light. Okay? I also mentioned this, that we talked about this again the last time. Now when I say it could be heavy, it could be light, that took my mind to tonnage of the material, that's the weight of the material you want to carry. Avoid using a forklift to carry load that is beyond its design capacity. That's what took us to how many tons is how many mass make how many kilograms make 1 ton that day. Can we remember?
Yes, sir.
How many
1,000 kg equals to 1 ton.
1,000 kilograms makes 1 ton. That's just it. So this forklift now said 25 tons. 25 tons. That's 25,000 kilograms. So we should not use it beyond the capacity. It's part of the thing that sometimes,
That means that the forklift can carry 600 bags of rice.
of rice.
Up to 700. So,
That's the minimum.
wow.
So you should avoid it. Sometimes your superior, because you want the work to be fast, may want you to do that. To lift beyond when he sees that nobody is looking at. Ordinarily in every setup there should be a safety officer who monitors and ensure compliance, that everybody is following the safety rules. But sometimes what do I call it? How they used to call it this thing now? That's human nature, thank you. Human nature can come in sometimes. And if you are not able to throw it off, you want to say, okay, and you don't know whether just do it. That is that moment when that accident will occur. So at no time should you give room for that. So for transport equipment is majorly to move the load or the material from one point to another. And those things that we use, part of it is the forklift. As you know, we use our hand, and when we use our hand that time, following the principles, trucks, AGVs. Those are automated guided vehicles. That's when they are unmanned. No human is driving those AGVs. They are like robots. Okay? They have been designed to, usually in most cases, they used to have a pathway that they follow. That's the flow part, what they call it? They call it path, which has been designed. Those AGVs, they follow that path from where they go, between that place, they follow that path. You may not really see the path, but it has been designed with sensors that they follow those paths till they get to where they will pick. They will pick, follow to, then come back to where they are, where they are going to deliver. Sorry? They have been programmed, exactly. They have been programmed. One of my professors was telling us one day that he went to a school in, I think in US. So he got to the hostel. They were just there, not on a visit. So when he got to the school, the hostel, he just observed some not big, small things like this. Not only one, plenty. They were moving from the canteen, that's their restaurant. They move from there on their own to the hostels, come back. They are following particular paths. They go and come back, Those things they are like tortoise. So is that okay? Well, as it's not that, some further inquiry and further observation, we discovered that those devices, like they do like tortoise, they are carrying food from the restaurant down to the hostel for people to pick. That's those who have ordered for them. Yeah. Instead of human beings going here and there, those ones are those. And they are following a particular path, and they will not jam, they will not collide with one another. And you don't really see that when maybe they are done a railway that they are following. They call it path pattern or path planning. So they are also part, those are AGVs. Maybe in Nigeria too, I think maybe one or two places that are
maybe Abuja or Lagos, but
those ones that are even using their industries. Like I learned Dangote refinery. Dangote, I don't know if it's the refinery. No, they are the Dangote group. One of the group. No, it's not the refinery. I think it's cement that they use AGV in some of their material handling process. So that is part of it. We have conveyor belts, usually production industry, manufacturing industry. They produce certain, maybe like this water now, for example, plenty. Once they got the bottle will move on the conveyor belt, move to where they will be filled. That will move from where they will be cut. Then they move to another where they will be packaged. Then those that have been packaged move to where they will be packed, they will be lifted for storage. You understand? So those they use majorly conveyor belts. Those are part of the equipment that are used for transportation. Then we also have storage equipment, and this has to do with where we keep them after production has been completed, okay, or after delivery has been taken from those who the supplier. When the truck brings it from where they have whatever then the officers will receive. Then when they are delivered, then you have to use your forklift to take it from where they are discharged to the warehouse. Or it could be that it is the crane that will be used to lift you from that point to another place. Okay. So among the things that are used for storage, we mentioned pallets the other time. Those wooden pallets where we keep the items on them. We have our shelves in the warehouse. That usually have different designs and different heights as well too. We have the items as they are stacked in an organized form, and then usually they are also usually labeled. They are usually labeled for easy accountability. Okay, so those are storage. Then again we have. Remember I said labeled. We talk about unitizing equipment. Majorly for they are part of. Okay, now usually when we go to buy this. They are packaged. They are packed in a nylon, maybe in 2020 or 12 or whatever. Now that pack, they will be plenty, very plenty when they are produced. In a larger unit, maybe I don't know for Upper Villa, maybe like they have like 100 in a stack. If you have seen those trucks that used to carry them, maybe this Coca-Cola truck, you see how they are stacked. They will not put them in those small. They will be a set, maybe about 50 or 100 together. That's a unit. Another one like that, a unit. Another one like that. So if a truck is carrying, say, okay, this truck will be carrying like 40 units. That 40 units, each unit has this is single, the number of pack, 50 in a pack, that's a unit. Another pack too, another set of 50 in a pack in a unit. So there are equipment that are actually that are used to get them together like that, to make them a unit. So when we say a unit, it does not necessarily mean just one piece like this, but a set, a pack. Okay, it can vary from one company to another, but every company will have their own standard, which they follow. Okay, then we talk about identification and control. How do you identify? Sometimes they are all part of material handling. There are sometimes you have heard that Toyota Motors, they recall certain model of their vehicles. It's just that in Nigeria we don't usually buy new. It's not common. Most of us we buy fairly used, yes, because that's what our pocket can actually afford. But in many countries outside Nigeria, many of them buy new cars, tear rubber. And after sometimes the company could be Toyota, it could be Honda, it could be whatever. They can discover that or maybe after using, people are complaining, and you now receive feedbacks. This model has a particular issue. Or themselves when they check it, they discover some errors. They recall those vehicles. But you now ask, how do they know that this particular vehicle has that fault? You ask. So they can, because they produce in mass, in large quantity. So how do you know that this one has this fault? It is all about this section now, identification and control. Every set has what we call the batch, the model number. Then again, they also have what we call batch numbering, all for identification. Like this water now, there was a time that people started complaining that Ever water is having problem. I don't know if you heard about it. In fact, that is part of one of the problems Ever water still have till today. Ever water was selling seriously, but now a lot of people are avoiding Ever. This one is thriving more, Aquafina, and now the problem would have been that a particular batch of production had an issue, and people discovered it, and then the problem set in. If the company wanted to recall, recall means to remove or to retrieve those batch from the market. They will not tell you, say, if you drink, they will not say if you see the water that this water is have so thing, please return. No. All they just need to do is they identify the batch, what set, what is the label, what is the numbering, what is the model, the batch number. Then they start the information out. This any item, this also batch numbers of production produced water are to be retrieved from the market. It is the batch that's the batch number that they do, and that is under the identification and the control. So that they can be able to track. That's why the purpose for tracking and managing of the flow of goods. If they are sending, if they supply to any company, they will know the batch of production that is sent to them. If somebody want to, and it will be recorded. If the company they supply to PTI, for example, maybe 1,000 or maybe 2,000 units. If you don't have a claim that the water you did to us has no problem or whatever, you can just request for a sample. Checking the sample. If it doesn't, perhaps somebody just want to use the opportunity to make money from it. Once they get a sample of it, all they need to see, they have this barcode. They scan it. If it tallies with what they have in their system, they can take responsibility. If it doesn't, they can know we are not the supplier of this particular product. Even though it's no. They say it's fake. We didn't produce this. They can actually know, because this thing now plays a very, very important role. You can think that all these numbers, they have their meaning. They are just codes. You and I, we might not be able to know, we may not understand what they mean. These are advanced ways of controlling and tracking productions or materials today. We all have a barcode scanner in our phones.
Yeah.
In fact, it's now becoming something very, very common now. They say if you want to register for something, just scan this barcode. They will not write plenty news again, plenty information. They will just put those small, square bar, what do you call it? Bar symbol. Scan it, you get all that details. They are all part of the control and the identification. You can see, okay, we have barcodes there. Barcodes, like this one. We have our tags that are used, that are attached. Labels. They are all for warehouse management system. Even some, in these two, they have, some have a software that they use in managing it. So, okay. So these are major examples. Okay. We have the conveyors. I think we talked about conveyors earlier. They have that move. They have motors that control them. There is can be as wide as this. They take some produced material or item from one point to the other. Different section. You know, the one that produce that arrange this bottle on the table or the conveyor belt is different. The one that will fill the water into it will be different. The one that will pack it will be different. The one that will package will be different. The one that move them, take to different sections, they are all different. So they use, in most cases, they use those conveyor belts. You might have watched them in video or in TV, how those things are moved. We have our cranes, our hoisting for lifting. Crane can be simple, can be small, can also be very big. Can be very big. Yeah, industrial trucks, industrial robots. Just as you said, they use robots today. Robots to use to Amazon, they are very good at that. Toyota, they are good at that. Okay, most of these are automotive industry. They are so good at even hotels,
restaurants.
Yes, sir. They use robots to handle materials, to transfer material from one point to another. Like look at the example I did with the one that maybe one of the professor told us. Yeah. So these are materials that are actually used for handling equipment. Now, so I would want to take us through, show us a little video to explain, to demonstrate some of the things that I've been saying so far about material. So I want us to follow attentively, and then we will observe and pick some points. Therefore,
construction work often requires moving materials around the job site that involves pushing, blowing, and lifting. Because construction materials are often heavy and awkward, you should pay special attention to moving them by hand or with the help of a crane or forklift. Material handling. Let's start.
the sites, in the warehouse, we have to ensure that they don't obstruct passage. Anywhere, maybe the doors, where people are passing, all these places, you don't store material so that it doesn't cause accidents. Once you store it there, it becomes an hazard. We say we don't want anything hazard. You understand? So you have to be careful of this. You may not be the one that will fall, another person will be, and maybe your best friend. You understand? So this is why it is very, very important. And we said the other day, if you see something, say something. If there's something wrong, please call attention of who is to take care of it. If you say I don't, just throw away your face. You might be the one that will fall the victim. I say, if I remove that, I will look at falling.
Storage areas are kept organized and clean so nobody trips on materials. Finally, make sure to secure all storage. Keep these things.
Load limits. Don't exceed it. When you are storing, when you want to use equipment to lift, God have been saying that this 25 tons, Don't use it for 26 tons of load. The car, it has its limit. Even though the designer, the producer, they know we human being. That thing that is 25 tons actually could lift up to 28, 30 even. By design. But they always give room for what we call factor of safety. That, okay, let's say the person that just misbehave. That's why you will not see your boss will say, this thing can carry it. It's more than 25. They say you can carry it. They can carry it. I've used it before. I've used it to carry 27, this and that. And they want you to do it. It's true. The person used it to carry it. But the producer said use for 25 maximum. In his own design, it's not you human being. We human beings, we can want to do as we like. So it now added like 5 tons as factor of safety. That is why you will see the boss saying, we have used it to carry 28 now, and nothing happens. But that greediness, that misbehavior will not say, okay. Because remember I said, I'll give an example that they added 5 tons, for example, extra. I say, okay, since carry 28, you can carry 35. Can carry 35. Now you now go even beyond the complete. And at the end of the day, once you get to 30, 31 like this, at that time, it will be too late when the end is off. So, do not exceed maximum safe load limits. Very important. So you should not forget this.
Floors used for storage.
Remember I said it shouldn't be too high the levels. Okay? You should just, as I said, depending on the warehouse and then the company standards, you should not make it too high. Like this, he said, I think he mentioned 10, for example.
Stack bag materials by stepping back the layers and cross-keeping bags at least every 10 bags high.
Every 10 bags high. I gave an example, an instance. You could be stacking in the store or stacking in the truck. Remember our transport, part of our transport equipment. Truck is part of it, apart from the forklift. Truck is part of it. If you are stacking, then stack at certain height, which is not dangerous.
Do not store more material than you need on scaffolds or runways.
Scaffold and always. We have moving that scaffold. That's wrong. Then scaffolds are doing construction in the site. We all know scaffolds. Sometimes they need something to lift something up. Don't store more than needed. Those scaffolds too, they also have their own limits. They have their own, they have their own capacity. That you want to cut corners, you want to be fast, you want to do it fast, so that we can do another one. We compromise safety. So we should please always safety. Somebody who is, the person who is okay, who is healthy, who is complete, who is able, is the one that will enjoy whatever it makes. So we should never forget. You will see that I'm repeating that from time to time. So it is very important.
Beyond stack bricks higher than 7.
Materials, bricks, don't stack it more than 7 feet high. I'm sure none of us is up to 7 feet high tall here. In fact, none of us is up to 6 feet tall. For bricks, he gave us instance of bricks, 6 feet. No, a brick 7 feet, block 6 feet. Okay, we shouldn't stack them higher than that. Then we are talking about pipes now. One shouldn't be more than 20 feet mechanically, or 16 feet manually. Mechanically, that's when you are using equipment to lift it to the height. It shouldn't be more than 20 feet. But if it is mechanically, manually, you are giving it, you are using ladder. You give to somebody, and that one is not taking it up. Don't let it be more than 16 feet high because of the danger when it is,
What is a rubber pipe?
Pipes. Now, we know pipes, and then
Those plumbing
no, not those ones now. You know this iron that I extruded. If you get to our workshop, we have some very thick, rectangle, square, long, the square edge, then very long rods. They are part of their pipes. Usually,
to have hole inside.
sorry, no, some of no. They are big, like beams. Yes, very long one. So when they are usually, they are also stored too, but they shouldn't be that. You can see that they are packaged. Then sometimes when they look at, when I was giving units, the other was describing unit of this now. That, I gave you one example. Unit of this. Let's say we say 50 as one unit. We can have other material like that are stacked like that. All of them in that stack is a pile too. Okay? It's also a pile. Then, like when we have them in a container, for example, is a pile. So, and you know, we put containers on top of one another.
More 60 feet.
Manually lifting heavy irons is one of the main causes of injuries in workplaces. When we use manual, HOB, that one is one of the questions.
This video now, for example, now there is hazard associated to them lifting this.
Of course, now you see, you see, one thing is that it's we are doing manual, like we did this or that day. On us, that's an upward process, manual material and repetitive motions. When you move unnecessarily, okay.
Repetitive motions.
Now, repetitive, when you do things, even though you are lifting load, you are even following good techniques. When it occurs many times, when they are heavy loads, it will still have impact on you. That's why we have to, apart from, we should avoid those repetitive actions. You should avoid it. Okay? And now, if you need, say, yes, I have power. The power you have now, you can't compare it to when you are, okay, Mr. Adenijo, Toyo. The energy Toyo has, I don't think Mr. Adenijo has it. You have it more than, you have more.
Oh, yeah.
He's going himself too. We still come to we still get to his own level later on.
Yes.
So don't say that, we don't they carry on before now. So I can still carry on. Age is not on our side again. What you can do sometimes ago, at certain time you may not be able to do it again. So when there is need for help, call for somebody to work with you. You understand? Like myself personally, I used to avoid, if I buy a bag of rice now, even though I still carry it, but I try to not to avoid it. I try not to carry it alone. I look for someone that will support. Though yes, I can carry it, but age is not really on my side. I don't like it. Even though I can carry it, it will be affecting me over time. You understand? So, but there was a time before that I would just leave it and I would not feel it. So, seek for help when you are lifting heavy loads. Don't say you have money, you have the power. Okay? So that's because sometimes manual handling of materials, many times there are a lot of hazards that are associated with it.
Avoid upward postures, such
Upward
as reaching
posture.
behind the bar, bending.
Okay? Upward posture that are not good when handled. Or you now carry, when you carry the load, If you are tired, drop. Don't say, see now there they go. I'm almost there. You are exceeding safe limits.
Forward to the side and twisting by pushing and pulling materials. Avoid holding items for a long period of time, such as when installing fixtures.
For a long period of time. Avoid carrying heavy load for a long period of time. Please, I should avoid it. It tells on their body.
Boat to light. Beware of weather conditions. Cold temperatures can cause decreased muscle flexibility, while excessively hot temperatures can lead to dehydration and fatigue. When care,
Weather conditions too. So we should beware of it. When it is raining, when it is hot, okay, we should. Those things also affect our disposition. So, and then again, you know yourself, understand yourself, and then don't discard some body feelings. Don't say, oh, don't worry, my body is feeling like this. Let me continue. Please respond to your signals from your body when there is need for that, and take the clearest part. This one is clear. I want to go from here to that place. And I want to go from here. This is where I'm going to. This place has some things on the road, obstacles, and of course hazard. And it's shorter. But I have another way that is clearer, but it's longer. It's safer. I should rather use that safer part than this shorter one that is not safe. That's the reason why many times, if you look at driving today, people will drive, say, may I go, let me just follow this quick, sharp. Whereas you are driving against traffic. You know, if anything happens, here you are thinking you want to get too fast. You will not even be able to get there.
Better to be late than to be late.
Better, thank you. Better to be late than to be late. LAT is still, but they have different meaning in terms of context. So take the clearest path.
bring material across the job site. Make sure you can see where you're going and take the clearest path. Always paying attention to where you're going. One of the best ways to avoid injury is to know the correct technique for safe lifting. 1. Stand close to the load with your feet spread shoulder width apart.
The art of lifting procedure now.
Slightly in front of the other for balance. 2. Squat down, bending at the knee.
Remember, they mentioned something in the first. I don't know if we heard the first. No, before this one. Sorry?
Lifting position.
Your leg position, apart, they said you should be close to it.
Yeah.
I want to carry this thing now. And I stay far from it. There is no way I will stand in the right position.
Yes.
It's close to it. Then your position is standing properly. Then before you now squat. So it's demonstrating that for us.
Do not bend your waist. Keep the chin or keep your back as firm as possible.
And do not avoid bending your waist.
4. Slowly begin straightening your legs. Do not twist
Did
your
you see
body.
that?
5. Once the lift is complete,
Let me bring it back.
do not bend your waist. Tuck your chin while keeping your back as firm as possible. 3. Get a firm grasp of the object.
A full grasp of the object. Hold it properly. Don't grab it in such a way that it can easily slip. Something like this. After like this, so that any little this thing it slips off. And when it slips off, so this is very, very important as well. You can see his hand entered under. It has a good grasp of it.
4. Slowly begin straightening your legs. Do not twist your body during this step. 5. Once the lift is complete, keep the object as close to the body as possible.
As close body
To weave
as
from your
possible.
body, there is a dramatic increase in stress to the lumbar region of the back. In addition to safe lifting, planning ahead for a job can always help avoid injuries.
Did you hear this? As part of the safe lifting procedure, planning ahead for the job always help to avoid injury. Remember, we discussed that yesterday. Under I think under the principles of material handling, you should plan ahead for the job. What are you lifting? From where to where? What methods of handling or lifting are you employing? What are the equipment that we use? What is the condition of that equipment? It has to be properly planned. Okay, it's not that this may not take long time. Oh. It doesn't take long time. Before, but let's say tomorrow now, at the end of work today, tomorrow we have planned what we want to do. Okay, we are using this forklift ABC. Okay, from point this to this point. We are starting on this shelf number, this and that. Or we are taking it to site, this and this. These are the people that will receive. Everything needs to be planned. So that, and doing that helps to avoid injury. Why? Because if you just pick up any machine that you didn't know the condition, you start using it. If anything happens, you cannot stop.
Use mechanical means such as dollies, hoists, or forklifts. Use racks, lift gates to load machinery to trucks or track the lift pad. Order supplies in smaller quantities and break down goods on site. Rotate tasks so employees are not exposed to the same activity for too long.
This part is a rotate task. Don't be doing the same thing for too long. Okay? If you are lifting for a particular week, for example, that's why the need for proper organization. Those who will be lifting this way manually, they should not be the one to do next week. Perhaps they should be those that will drive the forklift the other time. And those that do that, those that will take to the car, to the truck, they should not rotate activities so that the body is not just fixed in one. When they are rotated, things get easier. Okay, so say rotate tasks, so employees are not exposed to the same activity for too long. So please, this is also important.
Store heavy containers so that they can be handled safely. Lots of property handles, slots or holes.
Did you see what?
Can be handled safely. Utilize proper handles, including handles, slots or holes.
Did you see how it carried that? There is an handle there. So in our environment here, this thing is not so common. It's part of the things that they are part of safe handling, material handling. At the point of packaging, they have already incorporated safe material handling procedure into it. But it's not very common here. We have what they call standard SOM, Standard Organization of Nigeria. But what are they doing?
Enough room to accommodate a lot of details. Always wear proper personal protective equipment.
Always wear personal proper. Said that word proper PPEs. Remember we said it is the final safety point for the worker or for the employee. When you are working, don't ever say I don't need the PPEs. You need it to remember the instance I gave the other time. It's the eye drop that saved the eye. If not, don't go. And that, those that cutting disc, the way they used to move at high speed on the, and that time that by the time it gets to it will not only finish the eye, even the nose too will cut. Many other things will go along with it. So as small as they are just small things, unimportant. They play very big role in saving us. So we got to keep protecting ourselves.
Amen.
To avoid finger injuries, change your work routine often. Take regular breaks and break tasks into shorter segments to work.
Take regular break. Don't work for too long. When they say there is break, let us go for break. Okay? In the side, okay, break is there's going to be tea break between so time and so time. Observe it. There's going to be lunch, long break, so time and so time. Observe it. Because when the body is getting weak, or no, it's getting tired, and there is no rest, no break, that itself is an hazard. It's a potential accident, imminent. So when there is time for break, don't say you are enjoying the work. You are not really enjoying the work. If it's possible that they say we should not work and we'll be getting money easily, do you think the most hardworking person will not want to do that? He will want to. He will want to. So, but we need to work at least to our body should not just still sit down, become stiff. Your movement also help the better body metabolism.
Yeah.
So, but the point is, when there is need for break, observe the break. Whenever you are in the site or in the factory or in the production facility. So take regular breaks and break tasks into short segments. Don't do it for too long.
Our muscles have a good time to rest. When using mechanical equipment to move and store materials, workers should avoid overloading. Let this
It's still talking about avoid overloading. When that you are using a mechanical equipment. Just as I've been mentioned, it's also repeating it because of
size, weight, and shape of the material being moved dictate the type of equipment used. All materials handling equipment has rated capacities that determine the maximum weight of the equipment.
Did you hear this? All material equipment has its maximum capacity and weight. And see, it's repeating it too. Because we human beings, we know ourselves. So, please.
Can safely handle and the conditions in which it can handle that weight. Employers must only allow forklift operators with the proper training and qualifications to operate the equipment safely. Most
Proper training for operation. While you are here, they don't just take you to site to go and start driving forklifts or operating crane. Because they know that there is need for proper knowledge training of the equipment you want to handle. That's why there is need for that training, because it will be more dangerous to have somebody who doesn't know how to, the technical know-how, that you instruct him to go and operate. That's why any equipment, any machines, or any items, it is always good before you operate, know how to. Yes, and then as part of it, we are talking about forklift now. If it's equipment in the workshop, we will say as part of after knowing how to handle, the first thing is that they will also teach you emergency stop. You should know there is the emergency stop in the equipment, in the machine, so that anything can happen, you can quickly stop it. It could be a button that you just press, or sometimes it's just a leg pedal. Just step on it, the machine stops. This is very, very important. So there should be adequate training. And that's why we are here.
injuries that happen as a result of materials handling and storage can be prevented by following these safe work practices. With good planning and awareness of potential dangers, your job site can be safe and injury-free.
Okay, so I believe what we have seen here has also given us a physical side, physical or visual knowledge of what you have been saying all this while. I think there is another one, maybe hopefully tomorrow we will say that how accidents occur. How accidents occur when procedures are not followed, when safety guidelines are not observed. So I don't know, I want to give you for questions or clarifications here before we call it a day at our show. Yes, sir, Mr. Amis.
What is the maximum height you can stack a load?
Okay. It depends on the load itself. What type of load are you talking about? Bricks. Well, so you have 7 feet is mentioned here. Some companies may want to load, to want to start lower than that. You understand? So depending, but it's a safe, that 7 feet is safe for bricks. Okay? For blocks, we have 6 feet as mentioned here. Then when you are loading piles to mechanically, you can load as high as 20 feet. Okay, but when it is manually because you are using your physical strength now. That's why you shouldn't go. If you have to go higher, no, what I mean is you use 16 feet when you are loading manually.
Yes.
Okay? But when you are loading mechanically, you are using equipment, that one can, without stress, it's just a press of a button or a lever that raises it high. But if you are doing manually, you may need to climb a scaffold, climb a ladder, and that is more stress. The more you carry higher load to an altitude, the heavier it is on you, and the more the impact on you.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
there's something I observed just now. This forklift, you get extra bone.
This particular one.
Yeah, you get extra bone. So that one we use along the same. So why is it? Why carry extra bone?
And just as we said, that this forklift, they are designed to carry different loads. This is designed to carry much higher load, and then again, the height at which it can reach is also higher. This own now has the maximum height to which it can get to. So the one that needs to go to higher height requires a longer. In most cases, we have most of them have 2.
Yes.
Some have 3 from auxiliary operations. You understand? Even some has 4. There is
Only 3 that works.
even some has 4. This one has 3, but some has 4 actually.
But that one with 4 is just 3 levels.
The 4th one is just we call it auxiliary. It doesn't really have a part in operation, or maybe unless at extreme need. Yeah, in most cases the 3 perform most of the job they are needed to do. Yeah. Any other?
Sir,
Yeah.
like this small forklift now.
It's not small though.
You know, very small.
They look small.
You get the one who say the part this one.
Many
Yes.
this one, yeah, this one very small now.
Okay, they use this
You know
one.
when I say it's not small, 25 tons not be small load.
So now they train us with this one now. What about the employee cost for company? The company the one. The same operation.
It's just like when you are using tab and a bigger control. The important thing is get all the principles. Alright. Even if there is going to be anything different, very little. It's going to be very little. It is majorly the same thing. Okay, so in the absence of any other thing, we shall be going for a short break. I think tomorrow is going to be the final day for this module 1 material and We'll still meet here tomorrow. So we just have a little just have a little assessment about what you have been saying. We are not after who is going to be carrying first or whatever. It's a request from your sponsors. You understand? It's just a little minor assessment. It's just from what we have been saying. Okay?
Is it going to be objective?
Most likely it's objective.
Because not everybody can really.
That's as I said, it is not a rigorous exercise. Not a rigorous thing at all. Alright, so let's enjoy our time.
Thank you, sir.
So, I will enjoy the class.